If you're a sports fan, make sure you go check out SportsCastr for all of your sports needs. Whether you're a football fan, basketball fan, or baseball fan, this app is the perfect way to get news for your team and is an app I personally use myself in case any of you guys want to check out my pregame, halftime, or postgame streams. I'll leave a link in the description below. What is up, Pats Nation? It's Patriots Global back here with another video, and in this one, I would like to talk about Jakob Johnson and basically how he's going to have such an important role with the Patriots for the rest of the season, at least up to week 12, depending on what the Patriots so happen to do with James Devlin, who was recently placed on the injured reserve. If you guys have not watched that video, I strongly advise you guys to go and watch that one, as this video will make a lot more sense. There'll be a link in the description below to that video. Jakob Johnson is a fullback here for the New England Patriots. He wears number 47. He's 6'3". He's also 24 years old, so he's a pretty young guy with some decent height. A lot of people may not know who this guy is, and really this wasn't even a guy that Bill Belichick himself saw anywhere going with him. Jakob Johnson actually was not on the New England Patriots' radar by any means until the NFL actually randomly assigned him to the Pats back in April through the NFL's International Pathway Program. And Bill Belichick actually even said, okay, look, Jakob Johnson by far was probably the Patriots' 91st guy on the roster, because keep in mind when you're in the summer, the roster isn't 53, it's 90 men. So he was a guy that was always right there at the possibility of getting cut. They actually at first didn't even envision him being practice squad caliber type of player. Now, a former Tennessee Volunteer head coach told Bill Belichick a lot of great things about Jakob, basically how he's just a very hard worker, does what he's told, and is just very committed to football. And ever since he has arrived here to New England, he has done exactly that. He's always one of the first players to the facility, always one of the first players on the field, and this is something I can personally vouch for. When I went for the open stadium practice, I got to actually see myself who was coming out to the field before and how long in advance were they coming out, and Jakob Johnson was actually one of the guys that came out along with former Patriots quarterback / wide receiver Danny Etling. The best thing about this, though, is that he's a very versatile guy, okay? In college, he played multiple positions. He played tight end, fullback, and linebacker. The thing with that is, though, is that he really didn't get any production out of all the positions that he was at. But nonetheless, he is a guy who is very versatile and has a lot of experience and the mental intelligence to know how different players work at different positions, which, whether you're playing offense or defense, is very important and a very amazing skill to be able to have. Bill also said that he is always taking notes, he's always going over plays, and always has a very long answer for Bill Belichick whenever he's asking him a question. Now, he's a guy that I personally actually was pretty interested in, and I liked watching him playing during the preseason. We saw him a little bit here at the tight end position, but for the most part, he was playing the fullback position. And what I will say about him is that his blocking really stuck out to me along with his size. And to me, that is the biggest thing that I can ask for him. Okay, you don't need to come in here and make crazy catches or run the ball in some crazy type of way and score 1,010,000,010 touchdowns, okay? For me, if you can come in here and be a solid, good blocker for the Patriots in both pass protection and in the run game to help these backs out in a struggling offensive line, then you're by far doing your job for me and exceeding your expectations. And in the preseason, he really did do just that. We did see him make some catches, nothing, crazy spectacular, but still made some pretty nice catches and kept the chains moving. But for the most part, was a pretty decent blocker. The biggest question about him that I guess I have, and something that I've heard a lot of people concerned about, is he has question marks on where he should go and who exactly he should block when he is becoming an offensive blocker. Now, that is something that will come with more time, with more training, with more coaching, and more experience, but nonetheless, that's something he's going to have to pick up very quick, because knowing who to block and knowing when to block on just a blink of an eye, just a quick instinct, is going to be very important in the NFL. You do not have time to just quickly think of, okay, where am I supposed to go? Who am I supposed to block? During the preseason, PFF actually gave Jakob Johnson a run blocking grade of 53.3. Now, the good thing here for Jakob Johnson is the fact that he's been with the team for the entirety of the offseason. He isn't a guy who came in halfway through or came in late. So Bill Belichick and the coaching staff, they know who he is. They know what to get out of him. He's been able to learn the playbook and work with guys like Tom Brady and work with the other guys and really be able to get comfortable and know the system. With that being said, though, not trying to contradict myself, but I'm not expecting too much out of him. By far, I'm going to tell you right up and straight up, do not expect him to be on the field as much as James Devlin was, okay? He's not that caliber or not that high type of caliber guy. It could be one of those situations where we see him limited at first, but taking more snaps as time goes on. I think a big part of that will be based on how he plays. Due to him being such a big guy, I could easily see the Patriots doing the same thing that they do with James Devlin. And I think that he has the potential to have better hands than James Devlin, because James Devlin did not have great hands. And the fact that Jakob Johnson has a past in being a tight end, I think that he has the chance to have better hands. But just going out and being a quick dump off for Tom Brady, whether that's to the right side of the field, the left side of the field, or just quickly going down 5 yards and being just a quick dump off. So for any of you German fans out there, this is definitely a guy I know that you guys are all looking forward to, as of course he is part of that NFL international talent thing that they started to try to do with a bunch of different teams. And a guy coming from Germany, I'm really excited to see how he does. But that is it for today's video. What are your guys' thoughts here on Jakob Johnson being promoted to the Patriots active roster and also taking over that role of James Devlin, either for a few weeks until Devlin is back and activated from IR, or potentially for the whole season? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you're not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button and like this video. It helps me out way more than I could ever explain. Make sure you guys share this video with everybody you know so we can go to the Patriots Global family. And other than that, I will catch you guys in another video.